Hello and welcome to the Classroom Connection, the show that takes you inside Marion County Public Schools. I'm Kevin Christian, your host for the next 30 minutes or so, and it is August, which means back to school for teachers and students, but it also means voters head to the polls to elect 2 brand new school board members and the Republican candidate for superintendent. Voters also decide the fate of 2 half-mil proposals to help the district pay for capital and operating expenses. So in an effort to educate you, our viewers in our community, here's more information on both half-mil referendums. Come August 14th, Marion County voters will approve or reject 2 proposals to increase school funding. Both are based on millage increases, which would affect property owners throughout the county. The first half-mil resolution would pay operating expenses to have art, music, and library programs at each school, including media specialists. Today, at least 8 elementary schools share music teachers and 10 share media specialists. This half-mil will also pay for reading coaches at each school, specific summer school programs, and after-school tutoring. Finally, the half-mil will also fund credit recovery classes to prepare students for college and the workplace. The half-mil would also affect property owners only and would generate an estimated $7 million each year for 4 years. Voters will also decide on a second and separate half-mil for capital improvements. Both ad valorem increases cannot be used for salary increases. The estimated $7 million per year would help pay for schools and district projects like painting, flooring, heating and air conditioning systems, and roofing projects. The half-mil would also fund technology needs and help the district develop and operate its own alternative school instead of contracting outside vendors for that service. Both half-mils for operating expenses and capital improvements would last 4 years, raising a combined $14 million each year. For the average homeowner with a house valued at $125,000 with homestead exemption, both ad valorem increases would translate to about $10 each month, or about $125 each year. Both half-mils are included in the district's proposed $488 million budget for the new school year. If they fail, school board members will have to make additional cuts to compensate for those losses. Well, turning to a different subject now, in our district, many of our students have varying levels of ESE needs or exceptional student education needs. Now, these needs range from gifted programs to those with severe disabilities. Some students are mainstreamed in classrooms with regular student programs. Others attend traditional schools but in self-contained classrooms with other ESE students. Still others attend Hillcrest, an ESE-only school. And then there's TJ Crenshaw, the first of what could be a brand new group of students. He's the first one to be dual enrolled at Hillcrest and a mainstream school, in this case, Forest High School. Joe Hartley brings us TJ's story.
From day one, we kind of noticed that he was, pretty good at academic level. So he was able to do basic math, addition, and so seeing him be able to get through work like that led us to believe that he definitely had the potential to be in a more of a gen ed school.
He could have been here a long time ago, but it was just a matter of getting some behaviors in order, I'll say. He
was easily distracted. Okay, he had he always wanted to go near the TV, touch CDs, DVDs, and he really liked music. So anything that had to do with any of those, he just had to touch, be near. And that made it difficult, in trying to get him through tasks during the day.
TJ works quietly.
We started taking those things out of his environment. And over time, we were able to take him almost all the way. Then we were able to really focus on him coming in, structured, and doing tasks throughout the day.
He does very well with structure and routine, so he follows it right away. He stepped right in. He knows, here's my timer. When, now I know my timer's on 0, now I'm going to go to the computer.
He begins his day at Forest, and then he comes to Hillcrest. He gets here about 11-ish in the morning, and he's very excited when he comes in, but he gets right into the routine that we have set for him here, and he's just done exceptionally well.
We used to offer tangible items that they could buy with decision dollars. TJ isn't here for that, so we need to give him something that he can have on a regular basis, and we also tried to match it with as closely to what they do at Hillcrest right now.
That's how we basically reintroduced it back in as a reward. If you first do these few tasks, then we can give you access to this.
He loves going on the computer for his 5-minute and listening to music, and then he knows after his 5 minutes is up, then he returns to his work.
TJ, in many ways, is a typical teenage boy.
When he is on the computer for a lesson, it's you always have to make sure he's redirected back to not going back to the music, because what another student does, and I think TJ has done the same thing, is open up a whole bunch of windows, and then when they see me coming over, they click back to their work. So, what are you doing? I'm doing this. That's not what you were doing. So, they have their autism, but they also are teenagers first.
He actually just passworded his iPod because my brother-in-law had went in and set volume controls because he had it so loud. He was, we're worried about his hearing. So he limited his volume, which didn't make him very happy, and he passworded it. Well, somehow he figured out how to reset that so that it no longer has volume control. And then he also, if you see, he set a passcode. So now we can't get into the iPod without his passcode, which, of course, we don't know.
We'll hear more from TJ's mom in just a moment, but Lori Manresa is principal at Hillcrest, while Barbara Dobbins is principal at Maplewood Elementary nearby. Both ladies deal with ESE students every day, and they both join us now to help you better understand ESE students and their needs. So ladies, thanks first for being here.
Absolutely. Sure.
Let me ask you first up, what is the biggest misconception when it comes to ESE students?
I think the capabilities, what our children's capabilities are. I think people are fearful of walking in the Hillcrest doors because of the fear of the unknown. Once they're there and they see what a wonderful place it is and the opportunities that it provides kids, then I think their perception changes quite quickly.
Yeah. Now, Hillcrest generally has middle and high school age students.
Right.
Barbara, at Maplewood, you have a significant ESE population of elementary students.
Yes, we do. We have varying from inclusion all the way through the spectrums of the different ESE.
Now, I mentioned inclusion before. You just mentioned it. Tell me what inclusion is.
Inclusion, it's interesting because what you're doing with TJ is a little bit of what we already do at Maplewood with inclusion. Inclusion is taking those special needs children and getting them into the mainstream class. So we do have some students that are fully self-contained, and then we have others that are in full inclusion, which is in a regular classroom with regular ed students. And then we have some students that float between a self-contained classroom and an inclusion mainstream classroom.
Is that the goal for all ESE kids, to get them into an inclusion program?
Yes, the goal is always to place them in their least restrictive environment.
Is it realistic?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think for some children it's phenomenal. I still believe in the center schools.
Yes.
And simply because I believe we have the flexibility to do many more things than the base schools have available to them. They're very structured in the sense that they have to stick to an academic curriculum that doesn't allow for much flexibility, where our curriculum allows for functional skills, independent skills, life skills. So I'm very fortunate to be a part of the school that is different than the rest.
Right. Yes.
Let's talk about the spectrum, the broad spectrum of abilities or disabilities, depending on how you look at it. Barbara, give us an idea of the capabilities of your ESE students and how far they range.
Well, we have ESE at a low functioning, as Lori has mentioned, that need those life skills and developing skills. They're coming to us nonverbal, and we're looking at alternative forms of communication, such as using pictures or sign language, and then and those ways of communicating. We're really at the elementary level getting the students to communicate in alternative ways. So we range from that function to students that may have special needs but can fully function in a mainstream classroom.
But you also have students who are gifted on your campus.
We do.
Which is part of the ESE curriculum as well.
Absolutely, we do. We actually are a hub for our gifted program. We have students from other schools that will be bused over to our school to receive gifted services.
Wow, goodness.
Yes.
The whole gamut.
We have the
if you
whole
will.
spectrum.
Lori, how have you seen ESE and how we address it change over the years?
Oh, it's huge, and I think it's about believing in opportunities. Specifically with TJ's story, dual enrollment with a base school and
Who
a
would have ever
center
thought,
school.
right?
That is outside the box kind of thinking, and that's what we're all about, providing the opportunities and then bringing the team of people together to get those opportunities to take place.
I will say, you know,
awesome.
it's taken us about a year to get TJ's story videotaped and on the air, but what,
Right.
what an incredible story.
Yeah.
So, Barbara, let me ask you, how does one success with this student feed the success with the next student?
Well, it's all about acceptance. It's all about learning students who are different, and it's really the ones that have the most learning to do are the adults and the regular ed students to learn to accept the differences.
I want you to reinforce that. Say that again. The most learning needs to be done by the adults?
By the adults and the regular ed children, which I think is one of the beauties that we have at Maplewood, because we do have more or less a school within a school. We have our ESE and we have our regular ed. We have over 600 regular ed students, and those students get to see and interact with special needs children and learn to love and accept them for who they are, and you don't necessarily get that in the regular outside environment.
I've got enough time for one more question pretty much. How do parents figure into all of this?
They're a huge part of the team. They have to be. When we put TJ's project together, which it really was a project and it took a long time, we had transportation involved, the parents highly involved, the behavior support team involved, Center for Autism and Related Disabilities involved, paraprofessionals involved, you know, Mr. Gregory at Forest High School, myself. I mean, it's a huge team of people, and without the parents doing their piece, there's a piece of the puzzle missing. And it's interesting because TJ is an autistic student, and the symbol for autism is puzzle.
Yeah.
Right.
So everyone is a piece of that puzzle.
Unfortunately, as with most things, I'm sure there are those students that don't have that kind of parent involvement, but those kids are just as special to us as any other kid, and we do whatever we can. I presume you guys do whatever you can to meet those needs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wow,
Side
tremendous.
by side.
Thanks for what you do.
Thank
I know
you
it
very
often
much.
goes unsaid, but of course all of our principals work hard, but you guys, I think, are called to what you do and for your specific population. So
Thanks.
Thank you.
thanks for what you do, and
We
thanks
will-
for being here today.
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, earlier we introduced you to TJ Crenshaw, who's been transitioning from Hillcrest to Forest High School. But now we hear more from TJ's mom, who has watched her son trailblaze a brand new path to success.
There are things at Hillcrest that he needed and that have helped him a lot. But I think there's things at Forest that he needs as well. So for him, I think he's getting the best of everything. I think he needs the challenge, you know, the academic challenge. Hillcrest is a great school. They've helped him a lot. He's learned a lot. But they're a little bit more focused on daily living skills and things like that. He gets that. You know, he can make his bed. He can make snacks. He can do all those things. So I think he's just kind of outgrown that school, and I think he's ready for a little bit more, you know, academically, and he can do it. You know, he's a smart kid, so I think he's up to the challenge. That was our what we originally wanted from middle school, but the things that prevented him from doing that were behavioral and safety issues that they had. It was getting to the point, especially in puberty, where it's pretty scary. He was to the point where he would go into people's homes and, you know, through their window, their front door, to get to DVDs. You know, he wasn't trying to hurt anybody. He's totally nonviolent, but it was just this obsession. And that was a safety concern at, you know, with the school too, is that he will bolt. He's a bolter, so he'll just randomly, you know, take off running, and he has no fear of traffic, you know, animals, other people, or anything like that. Here's the things that he's supposed to do, and it's like per usually hour and a half. So he's getting rewarded for, you know, different things on the list. Don't bolt is on there. Do not check the doors. He would go and check and make sure the doors were locked. If they weren't, he would take off. He's on a point system where now he understands he has to earn the right to, you know, we'll take him on a trip to Walmart or the flea market. And then he knows he gets to get new DVDs. But if he doesn't earn it, you know, he's now understanding he can't have it. If he were to bolt or do those things, he can lose what he earned that day. It goes to zero. And he knows that. So if he's getting ready to do something, you know, you can remind him, TJ, do you want to lose all your bucks? And he'll go, okay. And he'll, 99% of the time, he will stop. He will redirect himself and he will stop whatever that was. I think people look at students and they put them into a, you go here and you go here and that's it. So hopefully this will kind of get some out of the box thinking going, you know, well, maybe we could try this, or, you know, they need this part, let's do that here and let's do this here. And I hope, hopefully it'll help more kids get more of what they need.
TJ's goal for the new school year? To be fully enrolled at Forest High School this fall. Good luck, TJ. We wish you the best. Now, if your child is starting school for the first time this fall, VPK is a big ticket to that child's success. Here's Tom Louder with why this program is so important.
They're rambunctious. They don't listen all that well. Sometimes a little hard to control. But these teachers are a special breed of their own. They have a colossal mission: to teach 4- and 5-year-olds something more than just tying their shoes.
It's really important as VPK teachers that we pick those activities that keeps them engaged in the learning process. A singer, show me dog licking. Show me that cat scratching. Show me trash man. Oh.
For 8 weeks, 4-year-olds on their way to kindergarten get intense reading and writing lessons. They also pick up several social skills along their journey.
Then we're exposing them to a whole group setting, how to sit and listen to your teacher, and reading stories, and we are doing songs.
Awesome. What is he doing on this page to make the queen laugh?
He's wearing the crown.
He's wearing her crown.
Working on reading centers where we're working on different skills, like their letters, letter sounds.
Letter is going to be
A different color. So when I'm done with this, I put my paintbrush back. Well, this group is doing pretty well, but we break it up a lot with lots of singing and dancing, and we're not doing the same thing for too long. So we only do centers for about 10 to 12 minutes.
The challenge is that most of these young students have never been in a classroom before. That and keeping their attention can be quite difficult. One parent seems to think her son is doing just fine with the challenges.
He comes home very excited. I mean, he tells me everything that he learned. He comes singing songs, his ABCs, and telling me what he did in class, learning programs on the computer and stuff like that. And he tells me that, you know, they all interact in groups and stuff like that. And I think it's good because sometimes if you don't put them in groups like that when they're like the VPK program, when they go into kindergarten, they're not going to know how to interact with the other kids around the classroom. I haven't heard any complaints. He's got all happy faces coming home. So they're learning how to write his name and holding a pencil and learning their letters and their colors.
Well, it's important that we model what we want the kids to do. If we're standing there, typically they're just going to stand there. At this age, students are going to model what they see their teachers doing. So if the teachers are having fun and having a good time, they're going to have a good time as well. We have to bring that personality in.
And with pre-kindergartners, the only thing that can truly be considered routine is change. Changing activities to keep little minds engaged and interested.
I think it's really important. These students are going to be ahead of the other kids in their class. They are going to be ready for kindergarten, and they're going to be on level when they enter.
VPK is offered in 18 classrooms at 11 schools around Marion County. Well, each month, you may know, we spotlight an employee making a big difference here in our district. This month, we want you to meet Zoya Quintana, a 4th grade teacher at Greenway Elementary. Here is why she loves her job in her own words.
My name is Mrs. Quintana. I'm a 4th grade teacher, and I've been given the great opportunity to do summer camp.
Back to the Lake Erie changed the way people move their goods.
These are my students this summer. They are a wonderful group. They're very smart. We're just going to step it up and get better. So when they go to 4th grade, they will be prepared for 4th grade. I love my teaching job because I've been given the opportunity to touch lives.
To go on a space trip, right?
And to be a part of each of one of these students' lives. They have to be here this summer. They have been working hard this week. We have 5 more weeks, and we're going to see if we can keep it making it fun and making learning a part of their lives every day, not just here at school, but at home, that they can learn also there.
Correct, right?
If you are looking for a job, listen up and take a look at this. Without transportation, our schools would be empty. Before teachers, administrators, and even janitors, it takes a bus driver to stand at the forefront of a child's education. At $12.50 an hour starting salary, Marion County Public Schools offers benefits, a schedule with school holidays off, and the security of a guaranteed 4 hours per day with extra hours available. Apply online or call the transportation hotline today to learn how you can have a positive influence on students in our community. Well, back in May, the Marion County Student Media Festival showcased the best video productions by our students. So this month, we bring you the final Best of Show winner. This one from Belleview High School. It's a humorous look at the megaphone from years gone by.
With louder volumes and longer-lasting batteries, MP3s are causing an increasing amount of young people lose their hearing at alarming rates. Does this mean you should stop listening to loud music? Of course not. Go ahead and crank up the volume. We have a solution. Introducing the MP3 megaphone. No longer will you and your friends struggle to hear each other.
Austin, what's number 1, Austin?
What?
What's number 1, Austin?
I think it's C.
Now you can avoid those embarrassing moments.
Dang, how about you walk by me naked next time?
Excuse me?
No, I was... No, I said you dropped your $1.
Oh. Thanks.
No problem.
Due to their subtle and inconspicuous nature, the MP3 megaphone is convenient and easily blends into any environment. To order yours, go to www.icanhear.com and get an MP3 megaphone for 2 easy payments of $9.99 and a really, really difficult payment of $99.99. But wait! Order now and receive a free MP3 amplifier that will blast the volume of your MP3 player to obscene levels. MP3 megaphone, take the worry out of hearing.
Megaphone!
Now here's Superintendent Jim Yancey with some important information for you this month.
Welcome back to the new school year. We're excited to be back, and we hope you are too, and everybody's rested and ready to return to school. Student Day, the first Student Day, begins on August 20th, which is a Monday. A week prior to that, on August 13th, our teachers report back at their individual schools. And on August 14th is a key date for our community and for our school system. It's a day where you get an opportunity to vote, not only for superintendent of schools in the Republican side, but also all of our school board races will be decided on that date. In addition to that, we have 2 key proposals that are out there to help fund our schools for the better. And those are a $500,000 for the capital side, which means the day-to-day operations maintaining our school, and a $500,000 not sales tax, but property tax for our day-to-day operations. Those $500,000 have key impacts on our school system. As you know, we're not getting any more money from the state for operations, so we need that $500,000, that $7 million for maintenance projects that go on continuously throughout our school district. On the operational side, if the millage fails or it passes, it'll have huge impacts either way. One being, if it passes, we'll actually have an opportunity to put in art, music in all of our schools, and as well as media specialists in all of our elementary schools. If it fails, we'll start moving towards eliminating art and music programs in our elementary schools as well as media programs. That's just what the voters will have decided to do. So we hope you'll get out and vote on those 2 days. And parents, we're looking forward to your children returning on August 20th. Please check and make sure they've got all the requirements to return to the school. There's some key dates where they have to have their shot charts, their shot records up to date. So please call the school and check on those dates for you. We hope everybody has a great year in 2012, 2013. Thanks, and I'll see you next month.
That wraps up our show for today. So as we say goodbye, here is a special message from members of the class of 2012. And as always, parents, remember, be there for your child every day.
Hello, my name is Isabella, a 2012 Denellen High School graduate and soon-to-be college graduate thanks to the dual enrollment program. I'd like to thank everyone that was involved with that program as well as everyone that has helped me through my years at Denellen High School.
Hi, my name is Brandon Sanchez and I am a Denellen High School 2012 graduate. And I would like to thank all the teachers and staff at this school that have helped me throughout my 4 years. It's been an incredible experience and I've truly enjoyed it. I love the close-knit community. Thank you so much for everything.
Hello, my name is Judi Fusco. I recently graduated from Vanguard High School and I miss it already. The teachers are incredibly supportive and caring. I'm so thankful to have learned so much in such a happy, well-rounded, and comfortable environment.
Hi, I'm Malak Fakhoury and I recently had the honor of graduating in Vanguard's 2012 class. The faculty, administration, and staff here really helped me develop my identity as a student, and I'm forever grateful to have attended the finest high school in the land.